I've been helping Aegis with some damage testing recently, and it came up in conversation that Duality was best in slot for solar slugs, even better than a surrounded Sojourner's Tail, which was very much news to me. For those who don't know, Duality, the gun, is a solar exotic shotgun that has a rather unique set of perks. Its exotic perk, Compression Chamber, grants it dual functionality: pellet shotgun when hip firing and slug when aiming, but more interestingly, its second perk, On Black Wings, reads: pellet final blows grant a stacking precision damage and reload speed buff. Precision hits with slugs extend the duration. So, I decided to carry out some testing on good old Templar to crunch the numbers. For every test, I was standing in a well of radiance and I had boss spec equipped where possible. In the first test, I'm using Heritage and Nessa's Ablation as a baseline, coming to a total of 762,000 damage in 12 seconds, giving it a DPS of 63,571. In the second test, I'm using Heritage and Duality with no stacks of On Black Wings, coming to a total damage of 715,000 in 12 seconds, giving the combo a slightly lower DPS of 59,614. Okay, not bad for a gun with no damage perk and no boss spec, but we can take things a step further by bringing in On Black Wing stacks. But first, we should see how this buff works. On Carl, a default slug hits for 61,705, one stack of On Black Wings for 71,358, two stacks for 81,010, three stacks for 85,836, four stacks for 90,662, and finally 5 stacks for 95,488. The numbers are up on screen, but the key takeaway is that the max stack buff is a huge 55%. Realistically though, you're not always going to be able to get stacks of On Black Wings, since some bosses don't have ads as readily available as Templar. But do keep in mind, should you manage to get a kill, you won't ever run out of the buff, since it gets refreshed up to full duration on precision hits. Back to the Templar, in this next test I'm using Heritage and Duality with one stack of On Black Wings, coming out at a DPS of 68,244. Pretty good. And finally, I'm doing the same again, but this time with 5 stacks of On Black Wings, putting out a very solid 80,784 DPS. But the question remains, why should you use Duality at all? A well-rolled Nessa's Ablation is probably easier to get, and it doesn't take up your exotic slot. And to that, I would say surge matching. You see, right now, the best rocket launcher in the game, Apex Predator, is a solar rocket, and besides Duality, the only other solar slug in the game, Sojourner's Tail, is currently not always farmable nor craftable, and relies on Xur to bring it or the Dare's rotation to be correct. Additionally, the fact that the best energy slug, Nessa's Ablation, is Void Burn, prevents any optimal surge matching with Apex Predator. Therefore, in my view, Duality is a clear winner here as it excels in the damage compartment and can be surge matched to the top meta rocket option. So, next time you're using double slug, try Duality and I promise you'll be satisfied. Also, we only need 300 more members in the Discord before Tuesday, so join up now.